When you're making a story, world building is important. Immerse your audience inside a somewhat believable universe. For my comic Jeff and Taylor, it takes place in a fictional US city, Summerville. And since this is a comic about 8th graders getting into funny situations, naturally, we're gonna see them socializing in school. So, as a creator, I have to draw the inside of the school and be consistent as possible, from the color of the floors and lockers to the teachers and staff. But I want to go further than that. I want to have a reference that can really help set up a scene whenever the kids are at school. So, on Monday, March 22nd, 2021, I designed the official layout of Summerville Junior High.
Wake up in the morning feeling shy and uneasy. I gotta go to school. I don't think I can make it, don't think I can take it. I'm wondering what I'm gonna do. But when I look around, I see that someone is smiling right at me. Wait, that someone's talking to me. Hey, I've got a new friend. Everybody can succeed, all you need is to believe. Be honest with yourself, forget your fears and doubts. Come on, give us a try at the grassy junior high.
Kill me! Yeah, here we go.
Welcome, everybody. This is the official map of Jeff and Taylor's school that they go to 5 days a week. Summerville Junior High School, also known as Summerville Middle School. It teaches 7th and 8th grade. So, yeah, this is it. Goodbye. No, I want to talk about this. Alright, so, I love how this turned out. Now, just to let you know, I am not an architect or anything. I just drew this the best I can. And it was pretty tough because I had to make sure things were up to code, I guess. That the right subjects are there for 7th and 8th grade. And of course, every school district in the United States is different. I largely based this off of the school district from the middle school I went to. Shout out to Fairbanks North Star School Bureau. So, yeah. Most of the classrooms and the reason why there's 2 gyms and a cafeteria right across is based off of my middle school. So, yeah. I'm gonna show you guys one by one each room, I guess, and showing you where our favorite boys and girls in the comic attend classes. So, yeah, let's begin. Alright, so we have the front entrance right here. We have seen the outside of this area, most famously in the establishing shot of the Blue World remake. There you have it. You see this, you see the logo here, and you may be wondering why I put a sun with a very sad face or scared face. Yeah, this face is based off of that one Twitter account, images that precede unfortunate events. Well, I don't know, man. To some of us, middle school is an unfortunate event, but it's very important for us to be, well-rounded citizens of the world. So we got to go through school. I encourage you guys to go through school, and if there's some kids currently attending middle school who are watching this video, I want to hear your thoughts. I mean, what kind of subjects are you learning? It might help me write some things about J&T, like more specifically, what kind of math are you learning right now? I mean, for me, I'm 31. I kind of forgot all the stuff I've learned in 8th grade. So yeah. Here we go. The entrance. Front entrance, and on the left you'll see the office, the front office, where you see the staff's records of the kids, and you see guidance counselors, guidance counselor Lovely, Mr. Lovely, and guidance counselor Kim, Mrs. Kim. Yeah, that's her last name, Kim. And assistant principal Mr. Brock, and principal, the head honcho, Principal W, who's based off of George W. Bush. We've seen in episode 11. And the guidance counselor, lovely. We've seen him in Quickie number 90, I think. It was the guy that was talking with Cassidy. And he went like... he was surprised on her little convention. Yeah, he was not prepared for her crazy little mind. And over here is the trophy case. You know, I'm pretty sure Summerville won some trophies back in the day. I remember with this one quickie when Taylor was talking to the Katie Knight fan club for the first time. They were talking right beside the trophy case. Detention, you know, this one room. And you may be wondering why I color-coded these things. You know, some of them are random, some of them are done on purpose. Like, I guess detention is somewhat related to guidance counseling. Somewhat. Teacher's lounge is right next to them. Yeah, the teachers get to have their lunch break and socialize, you know, microwave their stuff. They have their own refrigerator, their own TV, their own couch. They can socialize and shoot the breeze. Now, right here, this circle, this is just the sun. A little design of the sun on the floor. I'd imagine, you know, these walls will be painted with murals or signs or paintings or photographs, historical photographs of Summerville or the school. And there are benches for the kids to just, you know, sit during their breaks. So this is the nurse. Every school has to have a nurse. So Miss Sheridan is the nurse here. I haven't drawn her yet. A lot of these teachers and staff, I've made up their last name, but I haven't drawn them yet. I don't even know how they look like. So that's a little bit of lore right there. Something I can, look. If I were to draw the nurse for the first time, I gotta make sure I have her name right. Over here, the rooms that are coded in purple, they are electives. So we have Home Ec. Jeff and Jane take this class. Not together, but they take this class. Art room. Oh, my favorite subject. Ironically, I never took art class in middle school. I took them in high school. But yeah, we have two teachers, Miss Raymond and Miss Salt. Raymond, we've seen her in one of the quickies when Cassidy was trying to join the art club. Concert band and orchestra, another classroom that Cassidy loves. You know, Cassidy loves concert band. She has Miss Cleworth as concert band teacher. And Mr. Hawkins, he teaches orchestra, you know, those violin students and the cello students. I never took orchestra or anything. I had no interest in string instruments at all. But I did take concert band and jazz band back in middle school. And yeah, the room is similar to this. Right back here is the lockers. You know, the storage where the kids put their instruments, and they have their own lockers and everything. So this is it. And right here is where they play, and this is the teacher's office. And right here is the stage, a little Xiao stage, right next to the cafeteria. You know, stage where they play, you know, the concert band stuff. Sometimes they play them in the gym, you know, whenever there's a concert. But, you know, sometimes the cafeteria is a adequate place. And, of course, I drew the cafeteria in the background lots of times, like in Quickies or in Episode 3 Remake. Right here, this table right here, specifically on this side. This is where Jeff, Taylor, Jane, and Cassidy eat their lunch, and they hang out. I remember there's this pillar here. And on the other side, it's this table specifically, which is on another level. It's much higher than the other tables. Like it's on a different level, literally, because the most popular kids sit in this table. Most notably, Bobby Ambler, the most popular student in Summerville Middle School. That's his table. And of course, I had to make sure everything was right. I looked back at the one quickie where Bobby Ambler was eating lunch with his fancy chalice and his fancy chair. Look at all that food. And I noticed there was like an exit sign. It's not really an exit now, but it's a door. You know, it's a door leading to the stage, as you see here. And of course, the kitchen area, where the lunch ladies can prepare the food, heat up the food or whatever. And this little corner here is where the kids line up and get their food. And there's a window right here. I imagine there's a window for the lunch ladies to put the food in, you know, and the kids get their stuff. And this is where they pay. And of course, I added a door here for the lunch ladies to walk in conveniently and you know, get to work. And yeah, here's another entrance slash exit on one side. This is the west side, west entrance. And up here is the gym. Locker rooms on each side, boys' locker room, girls' locker room. This is based off of Tanana Middle School, you know, the middle school I went to. We had 2 gyms. I don't know why. I don't know what the purpose was to having 2 gyms, but I guess it's to have, you know, different gyms, to have different activities. I remember the wrestling mats were always in this gym. Gym equipment storage right here. And there's another hallway leading to an exit. Whenever there's outside gym, we go, or they go out here. Yeah, there's a soccer field. Yeah, or they can run or do a whole bunch of stuff. And health. Health is part of the gym requirement, I guess. So yeah, there's 4 quarters in the school year, and one of those quarters the kids have to take health class in place of gym. So there's 3 quarters of gym and 1 quarter of health, where they get to learn about their bodies, drugs, and sex ed. So that's fun. And of course I added a back room here because, you know, just in case there's a fire, the kids have easy access to go outside. Theater, another elective. You know, kids get to learn about theater, and they get to, you know, probably join the theater club afterwards, and they can star in a play. And of course, there's special education. I don't know much about special ed, but I know every school has to have them. So they have 2 teachers, Bartlett and Woods. And this is the west side of the boys and girls bathrooms, and a storage room for the janitor. Over here we have the foreign language hallway, I guess. Rooms. The kids, they get to learn about French and Spanish and Japanese. Now, I looked at middle school foreign languages, and of course my middle school, they only taught Spanish and French. I just added Japanese here because, you know, to make things even. I mean, I just wanted things to be nice and neat. 3 languages for kids to learn in this one area. Of course, Cassidy learned Spanish. She already knows French, so she's learning Spanish now with Miss Hernandez. And I imagine there will be a future episode featuring Cassidy and Miss Hernandez and her children. You remember a couple videos ago where I showed you 3 children as bad guys? Yeah, they are the Hernandez kids. Alright, these rooms are... Okay, I'm probably wrong on this, but these are the STEM classrooms, or the engineering classrooms. You got shop, where you get to build stuff out of wood. Robotics, where you get to learn the very basics of building a little robot. And design and modeling, where you get to design a house or an apartment, something like that. If you want to learn architecture, you take this class right here. So yeah, robotics. I never had that in middle school. Well, actually, it was a club. I think it was a club. Yeah, but there was no formal class to teach this. But in Summerville's or in Jeff and Taylor's universe, robots are somewhat advanced. There are not a lot of them, but Jeff and Taylor did come across some pretty advanced robots, like the G Station and EG. So robots are pretty commonplace, not to the point where it's like Star Wars, where we call them droids or whatever, that they're walking around everywhere. No, just in special occasions, and I imagine robots are very expensive. The computer lab. I imagine design and modeling get to go to the computer lab often, you know, and kids they get to play games and whatnot. Play some of that number munchers. Photography. Taylor takes this class as an elective, and of course the dark room is right next to the photography room, so makes sense. There are no windows in the dark room. Duh. Storage. Did I talk about storage? But yeah, this is just basic storage outside, you know. Soccer equipment and whatnot goes in here. The library. Every school has to have a library. I remember when I first drew the first draft of this, I completely forgot the library. So I was like, something was missing. So there's the library. So this is where the students go to, you know, check out some books and study. The AV room, and there's a private reading room. Well, not private, but, you know, a little quiet reading room for kids to read their books. There's another hallway here leading to the back exit, the north exit here. And we have the basic, you know, the important requirements, you know, that every kid has to learn. 7th grade literature and advanced 7th grade literature. I imagine that, okay, let's say you graduated from 6th grade, and if you're in the top half of the graduating class of 6th grade, then the teachers or the guidance counselors will assign you to advanced classes. So yeah, they're basically the same, advanced and regular, except you get to learn extra stuff. You know, I'd imagine Jeff had a opportunity to take advanced classes, but he rejected them. You know, you can reject them because he wants to share classes with Taylor and Cassidy because they're in the bottom half. They're not as smart as him, so he wants to take the regular classes just so, you know, they can have some company. He wants to share classes with them, you know. And of course, 8th grade literature, Mr. Meath. I drew him once or twice. And I drew Mrs. Appleby once, you know. Jeff and Jane, this is where they met. 8th grade math with Mrs. Appleby. 7th grade math with Miss Lopez. 7th grade world history, Mr. Jones, who's based off of my actual 8th grade history teacher. No, 7th grade history teacher. Yeah, my bad. So this is the same man, Mr. Jones. He was very passionate about, you know, teaching us world history, so yeah, I put him here. 8th grade U.S. history, Mrs. Evans, I made her up. 7th grade English, Mr. Lee. 8th grade English, Miss Summers. Advanced 8th grade math, Mr. Atkins, who's based off of my actual 8th grade math teacher of the same name, Mr. Atkins. Advanced 7th grade math, Mrs. Crust, right here. Advanced 8th grade literature, Mrs. Smith, right here. Yeah, not much to say about these classes. They're the basics. Basics that every kid has to learn. But right here, they are electives for smart kids, I guess, and creative kids. Like we have creative writing with Mr. Osborne, and GT, which is gifted and talented. If there are gifted and talented students, then they get to take this class. Of course, the restrooms here, and the storage room, another storage room for the janitors, and there's political science with Mr. Bowman, who's based off of New York's newest congressman, Mr. Bowman, who used to work in a elementary school, I think, or middle school. He used to be a principal in a school, so yeah, it was appropriate that I put Mr. Bowman in political science. Speaking of science, here's science classes. Mr. Turner, 8th grade physical science. And yep, we know him. Jeff and Taylor has him for science. And yeah, he is based on my 6th grade teacher, Mr. Pat Turner, who's, you know, I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he's a fan of my work, and you know, he's awesome. He was an awesome teacher, you know. 7th grade biology with Mrs. Martin. And yeah, I took 7th grade biology. That's how it was. 7th graders took biology, while 8th graders learned physical science. And there's this guy, Mr. Locken, who teaches both physical science and biology to the advanced students. You know, they just, the school just wanted to combine the both of them here. And looking back, I should have put another storage room here. I got the girls' restroom and boys' restroom here. The third one. Got 3 bathrooms. And we got more advanced classes, world history, English, and U.S. history. So yeah, I think I covered everything. Yep. So let's go here. Last year I designed Jeff, Taylor, Jane, and Cassidy's report cards, and I get to know which classes they take. For example, we just learned about Mr. Turner, so yeah, Jeff takes a 6th period physical science with Mr. Turner. Of course, he has an A+ there because he likes science. So yeah, I looked back at the different quickies and episodes to see which classes Jeff and Taylor, share together. Of course, they share gym class together, that 2nd period. They share English class together. In fact, if you recall back in episode 12, Ninja Nonsense, I remember Jeff, Taylor, and Cassidy were in that class, and Mr. Johansson was substituting. And Mr. Johansson is the main bad guy in JNT. So I had to make sure that Jeff, Taylor, and Cassidy took English class together. So that's 7th period. And so yeah, 7th period, Mrs. Summers. And yeah, unfortunately, Jeff only shares one class with Jane, and that's math, which is 4th period with Mrs. Appleby. Jane's got a C-. She has to work harder on that math. But yeah, she's terrible at math. That's why Jeff is tutoring her. But yeah, I remember Jeff and Cassidy share a science class together. Jane and Taylor share a science class together. So that's 1st period. Yeah, it's all, process of elimination. Making sure everything is right. I just made up their student IDs here. So, yeah. Lots of sticklers. A lot of you guys may think this is so cool and neat. And it is cool and neat. Make all these little details on world building and lore. It's awesome. It really is. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The whole tour of Summerville Junior High. And I'm not done with these maps. I'm looking forward to making the map of the mall, because that's also a common place that the boys hang out in. And it's also the main location of episode 6 where it takes place. So I have to make sure the stores are consistent and everything, and I gotta do my research on making malls. So yeah, that'll be fun. So yeah, like I said, I'm not an architect, but one thing I'd like to say is that I was very aware on how many exits there were. I mean, there are 5 exits. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. This exit right here is an exit only. No one can enter through these double doors because it's an emergency exit, just in case there's a fire, or the kids, when they practice fire drills, that's what they do. They go out in their respective doors. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I inspired you to make your own floor plans of whatever you make. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. JFM out, and goodbye.